for us to put in place. Many a times we do have some skills with our mouth, but we don't practice it when it comes to practice. So we need to put those skills at our fingertips and know when to apply all of these skills. Also, it's not just about skills alone. It has to do with the essential values of those areas we are practicing. Because if we don't take into consideration the values, the essential values of those areas where we put up our practices, we might not be able to deliver the expected things that we need to deliver. So also, we will put into consideration the humility that is expected of us as a social worker. It is very, very essential. If we don't have this ethical humility, we might not be able to advocate for the rights of others, because it will look as if we don't really know what we are talking about. So we need to put into consideration all of this and make it a critical thinking. It will be a critical thinking at the end of the day, so that we will have our clients being happy with the way we handle their cases. We'll also be happy with ourselves because we have put ourselves into consideration, while we are also putting our clients into consideration, so that we all have a successful handling of issue at the end of every issue that is before us. Now, when we talk about this competence, it's not just about we going to study what is social work in school. We have been practicing, and this is the way they have been doing it before we get there, and we don't even think of doing it right or some way forward. So we put into consideration the ethical issues that is surrounding our profession, the professional behaviors that is surrounding our professions. So by the time we put this as our number one core value for successful and efficient administration and management of issues and cases, we will be able to know and understand when there is need for dynamism at the field of practice, because the roles inherited by us through our former colleagues, through our aged colleagues, could be different from the roles that is expected to be played by us to handle some critical issues that is disturbing not just us, but the whole of the environment, and if care is not taken, the whole of the society at general. So these are the issues that we need to put into consideration. Now, when we talk about the ethical competence, many of us, we don't even take our time to go back and look at all these ethical competence one after the other, to really know what are the essential social work, ethical competence, and responsibilities that we need to put in place. So now, when we talk about this ethical competence and ethical things or cognitive things that we need to put in place in terms of ethical expectation of us as a professional, many a times We used to look at environment, the society, the beliefs, the cultural norms and value of the people we are dealing with before we put into the application of these ethical issues we are talking about. Then we will be able to know when to say yes, when to say no, or when to numb our lips and not saying anything at all. So sometimes we don't maintain cultural competence when we are assessing. And this is very, very important in the field of social work. We need to know that when issues arises and we are at the forefront of handling these issues, and when our families are involved, we need to hands off and let other colleagues handle it. We don't need to influence what is going to be handled or what is going to be the outcome of this issue at the end of the day. But many a times, because we are embedded into so many things, we don't consider the cultural contents of the issues around us, and then we will now know. By the time we consider the cultural contents, we will know where our strength is. We will know how we can adequately control or put the issue into control without tampering with the emotions and the belief of others that are looking up onto us as a leader in the field of practice. So we need to have a very good idea, not just good idea, a stronger idea, so as to develop effectively different types of treatment based on the consideration of some other things that are needed for a particular issue. So sometimes we might need to stay off some issues and allow people that have the ability to do it very well, because we are all skilled social workers. So we just need to guide and not to control, because this is part of the problem, this is part of the challenges that we are facing these days. And before we knew it, every one of our subordinates wants to go and practice somewhere else. And before they know it, they are out of our facility and they are outside there. They will be unable to even practice this social work as it may be. They might opt out to do some other things at the end of the day. So we need to give the confidence to them. We need to remain objective. We need to be very, very good in analyzing issues and situations. And we just need to put down some roles that we need to play as social worker, so as to guide our subordinates on how to do what they are to do. By the time we do this, we will now be able to create some plans, different ethical treatment plans that will fit different situations and the skills that are needed in such process. So sometimes, as we are handling some cases, we might need to refer to some other agencies that could be able to apply their own skills, their strengths and competence so that we will all achieve the same result. So what is needed after referral is just for us to follow up and ensure that it is not just pushed aside. Then when we are talking about giving the job out to some responsible or required or necessary agencies, we should think about the availability of the resources. Are the resources there in terms of the skill, in terms of the knowledge, in terms of the experiences, in terms of their mission and vision? Do they have the responsibility? Can they do it? Are they assigned such duties? Or we think that because we have referred and because they are there, they can do everything that has to do with that particular issue. No, sometimes they create organization and gave them mandates. So before we refer, we should look at the mandate of the organizations we are referring to and ensure that they have such responsibility or art as part of their mandate before the referral. If not, we will refer and they will also refer again. So by the time they refer, we might not be able to follow up and serve as an advocate for our clients because we have referred. So because they don't have the competence, they don't have enough resources, they don't have the expected skill or experience to handle the type of issues we have referred them to. They will simply refer and we might not have the grip of those clients again. So it is essential in our field when we refer to do a follow-up, to monitor for improvement, and then we also need to respect the privacy of everybody that is involved so that we will be tagged as a good social worker. So as a professional social worker, when it comes to ethical issues, we have to demonstrate the professional behaviors. We have to know the rights of everybody that is involved in a particular case. We have to look at issue of equity and inclusion. We have to look at the issue of equity and inclusion when we are referring so that the clients could really get what they want. Then for ourselves and the other organization we are referring to, there should be documentation so that in future, when they want to capture such issues, they will be able to have the quantity of what has taken place, and there will be chances for research in future so that such issues could be captured very well and they will have the things that is necessary to be captured. So by the time we do all this, we look at the policy that is guiding our practice. That is why we cannot do this or some of our cases without looking at the issue of an individual, the issue of the families that are involved, the issue of the group or the environment where the person is coming from, the issue of our own personal organization and the environment where our organization is situated. That's why you will see some foreign bodies, they will come in, they will not want to do things, not because they cannot do it, but they will look for an organization that appeals to the plan they have in their project, and approach such organization if they are unable to give grants to such organization, if such organization have not written for grant, so they will approach such organization that we want you to work together with us on so projects, and these are the benefits that are attached to you working with us in such organization. So when we talk about competence, this is one of the first thing that we will talk about, the ethical and professional behavior. Now, another thing that is very essential to us in the field of social work when we talk about competence is the cultural humility and the responsiveness. So we need to respect and recognize that we are not all the same. Even people that were born from the same parent have different behavior. Even when they are not under the same roof, there are issues that will bring about emotional disturbance, and some of us could end up having a negative belief because of the way we are traumatized while we are growing up, because of the beliefs we have and the feelings we have in us. So this could influence our thoughts. If you look at the theory of Badura, he work on the issue of turning a negative thinking to a positive one through the way the social workers could handle those who are having misbehavior. Because Badura believed that if a child is not well nurtured and we don't care about the feeling of that child while growing up, like Eric Erikson has said in child development, the child that are well nurtured and the child that are not well catered for. So they have two different issues as they are growing up, as they are developing. The one that is well nurtured will always be happy, and the one that is less cared for will be comparing himself or herself with other peoples that are doing things right, with other peoples that did not even do it right, and their parents did not really castigate them. So with this, those who are not given the adequate care will have some bad thoughts and feelings as they are growing up. They will not see things right always. They will always have the positive and the negative side of their thoughts. And if they are not very careful, the bad side of the thoughts will override everything in them. If you look at the stigma fraud theory, so at the end of the day, they start misbehaving, they see people as not loving them, they see people as not considering them, they always want their own to be the best always, or they always want to be considered always. And with all of this, there will be issue of diversity. So we are not the same. We are not the same. We might be nurtured in the same family, we might grow up together, we might be observing, we might be imitating, we might be doing things like social learning have taught us. But at the end of the day, because there will be a failure and there will be the go-getter. So the failure might think that it's because things are not right in their own environment. That's why they are failing. So they will refuse to look at it critically from the analytical perspective. So when we talk about competence, we should be able to identify this cultural humility and the responsiveness of every individual to different things, because some people would build trust and some people will destroy the build trust, and some people are there to provide effective services, while some people will always think about ethnicity, some people will always think about the issue of gender equality, some people will always think about the economic factors, some people will always think about the issue of position and so many things. So as human being, as we are raised up in the same environment, we have different issues that is disturbing us and we are running after different things. You might be rearing your chicken to keep them to for a particular purpose in future, and then you have somebody that you are paying to help you feed your chicken, and you are expecting that at the end of the day you are going to be having some eggs that are laid by the chicken, and the person that is helping you to feed the chicken will also think that he or she has the right to eat some of the eggs that are laid by the chicken, or even sell it out, because she is the one suffering to help you give them food, without remembering that he or she is being paid for doing that for you. So he would think that he also has some rights over those chicken. And that is why you will see that when some people invest in poultry, some people are there to take the produce and do it the way they like it, without thinking about those who has invested seriously in that area. And at the end of the day, the issue of criminality will set in, because when you discover, you go and arrest them, and so many things will set in and so many things will be disturbed. So we have to think about the cultural humility and the responsiveness of every individual that is concerned, so that at the end of the day we will be able to look at the actions that we would put into place when we talk about competence and humility. So let me break here, ask question. If I'm not too fast, then we go ahead. Please, you have 10 minutes, ask questions, and let's go ahead. Hello, are we still in the class?
Yes, we're in the class.
Please, you are free, ask questions. 10 minutes, ask question, let's go ahead. Our class, I think, is just 2 classes, right?
Yeah.
So ask question, let's go ahead, because we have about 8 to 9 areas of competence to cover.
Mm.
Is everybody in? Are the other 2 people in? Ask questions if you want to ask, or we move ahead.
I think we can move ahead. When we have questions, we'll ask.
What about others? Let them speak. Oh, That means others are not in the class.
Yeah, we just agree with Mrs. Nwago.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Now, the third area we look at when we talk about this issue of key competence or core competence in the field of social work is the issue of advocacy for human rights and social justice. When we talk about the advocacy, many of us are shouting, advocacy, 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 advocacy. And we don't even consider what advocacy is all about and how we go about this issue of advocacy. Now, if we talk about advocacy for what? That's the question I always ask people. What are we advocating for? When we talk about the advocacy, many of us don't even know why we are advocating for social justice. And they don't even know the content of advocacy and what we should consider before talking about advocacy. So, as a social worker, if we meet ourselves in this field of advocacy, advocacy is simply me supporting and somehow defending. Many a times, I always tell people if you don't have the right skill, you cannot defend people because at the end of the day, you will see that those you are defending are even wrong, talk less of you that is advocating for their social justice. So you must be able to have the knowledge about the area that you want to advocate for before you can advocate for it. If not, you might end up being locked up in the police station like those you are advocating for. So the first thing that you have to know in advocacy is the law, the knowledge, the law, and the policy that is involving the issues you are advocating for. So that is the competence that you as a social worker will use as your own Bible or diary for operation. So you must be able, before you can say you are advocating, when you say you are advocating, you are there to support, to defend the rights, the need of any individual or community or environment or association or even a country that are facing injustice or that are being marginalized. So those are the things that you want to do when you talk about advocacy. Maybe an individual is being treated somehow and you think that there should be justice for such person, or a particular community is being marginalized and you think that you must be able to speak out for such person. So the first thing is the awareness. What does it involve if you want to advocate for a particular issue? What is the issue? What is the issue? Is your client right or wrong? Before you talk about advocacy, then if your client is right, what are your defense? What are your defense as a social worker before you start to do blah 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 blah? You must be able to know the policies that is influencing your support or that is protecting your support, so that you will not end up going to be where they kept your client. So you must be able to really have the knowledge, the understanding, and then know what you want to use to defend such issue before you talk about advocacy. Now, when we talk about advocacy, advocacy is in different form, which I will still expect us to read more about. Sometimes advocacy could be a physical presence and some other things. Sometimes it could be as a means of lobbying a policy that should be there to guide that social injustice, so that there will be justice for such phenomenon in future. There are some advocacy that will come on media or print, and while some will come with communication. So it could be verbal, it could be inverbal. So all those things are the things that we need to know. We need to look at it critically and know the area we want to advocate for. Now, if we are advocating after getting that awareness, are we really doing the right thing? Sometimes we might be operating with the old policies, and we don't know that some group has been mandated to work on new policy. So as a social worker, we must be abreast with the policies around the issues that we want to take up. So we must be able to identify those policies and work directly to ensure that the policies that we want to work with are not outdated policies, are not policies that has been given another consideration for operation. So we must be able to identify those policies and work critically with those policies, so that they can have the right tool with us. So we must be able to look at the policy. Is it promoting the rights of the issues we are talking about, or is the policy there for social justice or injustice? And sometimes when we are even supporting policies, we need to read it critically and adjust the area that will favor our area of interest. We must be able to know what the policy is. If I mention some policies that are passed within Nigeria in some few years' time now, the whole of this class will laugh and scatter their laugh. The issue of Association of Nigerian Social Workers, the issue of Chartered Institute of Administration. The institute has been chartered, and the same institute that is chartered is there under their own council policy, that they are the umbrella. Please, who is having a scattered umbrella and a controlled umbrella now? Association wants to be an umbrella of a chartered institute. Is it possible? Nobody is answering me here. Are we in this class?
Yes, ma, we're in the class.
I said association with umbrella want an institution that has a house, roof that is covering it. He wants to use an umbrella to cover the house of the institution. Is it possible?
No,
it's not possible.
not.
Umbrella cannot cover it compared to a roof.
So that is where we are now. You can imagine the difference. And unfortunately, some of us that are professional are not even looking at it from this angle. We become a bandwagon and was just following without knowing that those that pass the policy have already shoot one dead before passing it.
Madam, yes.
Do you understand it now?
Yes, ma'am.
They have already put
Good
bullet
one.
and shoot one dead. Then they pass the two bodies into law. And look at them. Ẹ jẹ́ a fi wọ́n lẹ̀, èyí tó bá lè operate kó operate, èyí tó bá fẹ́ kú kó kú.
Wait, you. We didn't hear you. There is a language you put up. We're not hearing that.
They shoot and say, okay, the person that will survive should survive. The one that will die will die. They look at one, they say, okay, you umbrella, okay, umbrella, well. You go umbrella house, okay, go umbrella ram, make we dey see. And they pass the law. And they know fully that one cannot survive. You understand me now?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when we talk about the competence, and you want to look at policy, look at it critically. Look at it critically. Look at the one that will favor the issue you are talking about. Or else, you just be shouting, we want government to do this for us. We want government to... They will look at you and say, what is wrong with this one? Have we not passed policy? Why are they shouting? Why are they making noise? You understand me? And you would think that it's a social injustice, but they have already judged it and they are expecting you as a competent professional to really look at it critically and go. So that's the competence they want to see in you as a professional. They want you to look at policy, not just looking at policy, read and digest it and pick the one that is useful to you. Like I was saying in the issue of referral, look at the mandate of where you are referring to. If not, you will refer and they will also refer. And once you refer to a place and the place will refer your client, you don't have grip of that client again. You cannot monitor the client. It means you have sold your rights to the first place you refer your client to. I don't know if I'm communicating.
Yes, ma'am. I don't understand that one. About
Which one?
referral. The referral.
I said, and that's why I tell you people should ask questions earlier if you are not clear. If you refer a client to a particular organization without looking at the mandate that establishes the organization, you cannot do more than what your mandate dictates. All of you can be on the field and be running helter-skelter. Government will be looking at you. If you go and do the mandate of the person, of another person, or the mandate that is not given to your organization, you could be sued. You could put your organization in problem, like we discussed earlier. So you must know where your authority starts and ends. If not, you have issues. You must know your limits, your boundary. It's not because we are director of women affairs. Then they said they saw some mad women on the street. Then you say, hey, rescue van, go and rescue those mad women. Do you have the mandate to do that? No. Am I communicating?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't have the mandate to do that. Fine. If this work has been referred to you and you think you need to help those women that are mad on the street, you can only rescue them and take them to the hospital. But if you don't take them to the right hospital, you might not be able to follow up. And again, you will look at your responsibility and your mandate. Are you the one to refer them to psychiatric hospital? No. So the highest you can do to them is to take them to the nearest secondary hospital, which we call general hospitals. It is now the work of general hospital, if you follow up, to take them to tertiary hospital, where they have specialist sections for different issues. We could see them as mad people. They might have variances of or degree of madness in those specialist hospitals. So they are the one that will refer them to the right section. So if you go refer somebody to where you don't really know what their mandates are, they will end up helping you to refer your client to another place where the mandate is. So you might not be able to follow up or monitor the client. That's what I am trying to say. Do you get it clear now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, can we go ahead with where we are coming from?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you
Now,
can go ahead, ma.
so when we talk about the policy, like we say, you can only influence policy, but those who are the custodian of policies will look at your influence or your interest before you want to talk about influencing the policy. And they will also look at the status of the policy before it can be influenced for you. And policy can only be influenced if statutorily it is an evidence that the policy is harming majority number of people that are involved. If it's not harming anybody, it can never be influenced. It will be left like that. And you will kept doing rally, asking government to do this, to do that. They will not answer you. And if you want to influence policy again, if you don't go through the right channel, the policy might not be influenced. Because for you to influence policy, you have to go through the right channel. So when you know about that, you now look at your support. Is it a direct support? Is it illegal support? Is it resources that you are going to use to support the advocacy? Is it just about emotional support? Those are the issues you ask yourself. Then if you know your stand, you will now be able to know the type of organizations that you put in place for you to advocate for such social issues of your interest. Are we mobilizing the right people? Are we talking about the issue with the right people? And so many other things like that. So those are the issues when we talk about the competence in advocacy. You must have the skill, the knowledge, the way you are to do it before you can do it right. So let me break there. Let's ask question again before I move to another level of core competence. Please ask question. We have just 30 minutes for the class to round up.
Yes, Doc, please explain more on the influencing of policies. That is where I am a bit confused.
We said before you can influence policy, you must be able to know what the policy is all about. And look at the policy very well, critically. Is this policy really injustice to that issue you are talking about? If the policy is injustice to the issue you are talking about, you need not to talk about influencing the policy. Because the policymakers will not attend to you. They also sit down to look at policies. They will not attend to you. You will cry from years to years, they will not attend to you. But if there is issue of social injustice in a particular policy, the policy makers will ask you to write formally, and you do that, and they will look into it. They will set up committee, they will look into it and address the issue you are talking about in that policy, based on the fact that majority of them have seen it as a policy that is harming that social issue you are talking about. If it's not harming the social issue you are talking about, they will still push it aside because they have a lot to do on amendments of policies and constitutions. Any other question? Are you clear now?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Any other question? Can we move ahead and talk about one or two more before we call it a class?
Yes.
Can we move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Now, when we talk about advocacy, we talk about the direct support, social support, and organizing and what have you. I hope we are clear with that. Hmm? Are we clear with
About
that?
direct support.
Hmm.
Ma, please, when you talk about direct support, are you talking about other agencies or talking about from direct support from the government or direct support from the clients you are working with?
No, ma. Let's say, for example, your organization is advocating the right of a particular social issues that have injustice and
Yes.
you want justice for those issues. Are we there?
Yes.
The first thing is this: is your organization competent to do the advocacy? If no, you have to look for a competent organization that can do it for you.
Okay.
Then you will now support financially, while they will now be the direct supporter of that advocacy.
Okay.
If you have the capacity and the mandate of your organization to give a direct support to that social issue, that is your area of competence. Yes, you now look at it. Which area of advocacy do you want to go into? That's why I said you should still go and read about advocacy very well. Advocacy is a very wide thing. So you now look at it. Which area of advocacy are you looking into? Is it empowerment? Is it awareness? Is it campaign? Is it, when is campaign? Is it through the media? Is it going from one place to another, organizing organizations, leaders, social group of people to give awareness on that particular issue and so many other things like that? Or do you even need to write a book like the Bible and Quran was written to support the advocacy for religion? And you mandate people or lure people or press people to read that book so that they will know about what we are talking about. And mind you, if you don't have a written document, there is nothing to research about. And that is why those religions that came before the advent of Islam and Christianity is dying gradually because nobody knows what they are doing. At the end of the day, they tag them secret society. And unfortunately for those ones too, if you are not their member, you don't even know what they are doing. But to them, they are practicing their religion. So those are the issues we talk about when we talk about advocacy. So advocacy has different forms of advocacy. Now, can we go about? Can we go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the third thing in our core competence practice is the issue of practice informed research.
Ma,
Sometimes, ma,
we
ma,
are still talking about the types of support in advocacy. You
I
just
have said
told us
it now.
direct
This should
support.
be direct.
Mhm.
Direct or indirect support. I have said it now.
Okay, I
Directly,
didn't get
if
the
you are
indirect.
if your organization is doing it directly. Indirectly, if you are supporting another organization or you are giving the work to another organization that even have more competence than you,
Okay,
like
okay, ma.
giving the work of the children to UNICEF to do,
Okay, okay, I now understand.
giving some women issue to USAID or UKID to do for you, giving some youth empowerment issue to USAID or UKID or some other international organization to do for you. Are we there?
Yes, we can
Are we
even give them
there?
to NGOs that are
Yes.
our own organization to do for us.
Yes, to do it for us. Are we
It's
there
okay.
now? Can we move ahead?
I think so.
Yes,
We can.
directly.
If you are not clear, let's stay there. That's why we are here. We are not in the lecturing class. We are here to understand some things we don't really understand. I can learn from you, you can learn from me. That's why we are in this class.
Ma, I think it's clearer now. We can go on.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Is it clearer now for some of us that is calling us back?
Yes.
Are we okay? Can we go ahead?
Yes.
Now, we talk about the practice-informed research. Many of us, we don't have much competence in this area because when we join the services, there are ways our ogas told us, even when we are more qualified than them. Number one, we are challenges to them when we enter the services. Eh? He said,
No.
You disagree? Eh?
No, it's true. Because some
We
of
see
them
how
came with different degrees, so we are in different cadres.
When we
So,
came in,
yes.
when all of us, we that we are talking now, when we came into the service, some of us came in with masters, some of us are already doing our PhD. We just want somewhere to be earning little coins so that we can finish those degree then. They came in, some of them came in with first degree in their days. They gave them car, they gave them beautiful houses they live in. They were rolling their cars and gallivanting, telling people I'm a graduate. I went to Texas. Yes. Is it not true?
Yes.
And we so much respected them. Even in the village, they will tell you to kneel down and greet that man. Oh, he went to school in America. That time they use Nigerian money the way they like it. During our own period, we struggled. Some of us were doing some other things and we are going to school before we even enter the services. So by the time we came, they met the white people that does not even have first degree then in the work, and they are the one that put them through. By the time we came in, we look at it, we say, how are they writing this? That's the way we write it. Even if you write what you're supposed to write, they will tell you, what nonsense are you writing? Go and look at other files and see the way they are writing these things. My friend, it's not that you call yourself a graduate. Don't bring things like this to me again. Your life. You say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And you quickly go and look at one file, one old ancient file. Say, this is the type of matter. Oh, yeah. Do it the way they wrote it there. And you simply correct the nonsense and pass it to them. Because if you don't write it that way, they will not pass your file.
It's still
And
happening now, sir.
if
Not
they see
before.
you that you are too stubborn, they will not even give you the work to do again. They will push you aside and use somebody that is junior to you to achieve what they want. So this has rendered many of us useless in quotes. Useless in quotes in the sense that we are unable to gather informations. we are unable to pull down and pencil down issues that need to be critically looked into and research on them. Many of us don't put our mind back again. Now, let me give you an example. You are in your workplace. Many of us that happen to be on a family desk, for example, within a week, a case of 13 years old, 14 years old into robbery, stealing, stabbing, Kemi. The following week, 13 again, 14, male, female, about 6. You treated them, you forget about it. Maybe a week goes, the third week again, the same issue. Now, what do we mean by practice-informed research? Many of us will not critically sit down and say, what is the problem with these children of 13, 14 years old? This is a decade and a half ago. What happened? Why are they stealing? Why are they involved in armed robbery? Why are they involved in fighting, stabbing themselves? What type of family do they come from? We will not stand up and research the family of those people to know the problem. Are they divorced family? Are they neglected family? Are they single parent family? Many of these things, we will not look at them. We will just do it the way our people there used to do it, and we forget about it. Because we are even afraid of doing it the other way round, for somebody not to query the way we have done it. Because somebody will be there to tell you that, you don't come. Now only you no book pass. So me, I be mumu, abi. Say, no, sir. No, call me idiot now. No, just tell me I am stupid. Can you imagine? Continue to say, yes, sir, yes, ma, sorry, ma, yes, sir, yes, sir. By the time you get out of that emotional trauma and stress, you will not even think about going to the field to know more about what is causing this particular issue before it becomes problem to the whole of that environment and society. So when they talk about research, many of us will just go to look for somebody book that has written, and we photocopy and dynamic it and change everything and bring it out. I want not to share research in here. We have done our own research. They should leave me alone. Whereas, as a social worker, we have more than 1 million research. We cannot research our field till we die. There are issues, there are problems, there are so many things that are causing the issues, which we need to sit down and analyze critically from the cases that we are putting down, from the cases that we are treating, from the issues that are surrounding us.
Just continue.
So we just do at the end of the clay,
Somebody
then we
mute,
close.
please mute your phone.
Help us beg this powerful mama to remove her phone. Oh. Grandma, mute your phone. You don't take class. Oh. So at the end of the day, we will not be able to do research because we have not been given room for information that will help us on the research field. Am I not communicating?
You are, ma. You are, ma. You are right.
So at the end of the day, once it's 11 o'clock, if God will bless us, we'll have our friend as our colleague the next door. Mommy Rita, what happened yesterday? Oh, my friend, as we were going here, you saw that trailer on the road. Yes, what happened? We look at time. It's already 2 o'clock. Oh. We start packing our load. We are going to our houses. None of us has documented daily what we have done and what could be done by those coming after us to ensure that those social issues are not repeating themselves. We are not interested in the work again, but we are interested in the goodies that are attached to the work. That is why you will see somebody of our own age thinking about leaving the work to go and do boy outside the country for another 2 years. We want to reap from where we did not sow. We have to start to have confidence in ourselves, confidence in our practice, so that we get it right. Let's ask questions when we come back the next class. So we will talk briefly about how to document our issues for research so that researching in our field will be very, very convenient and comfortable for every one of us. So thank you all for listening. Let's do little discussion. The floor is open for
Doc,
anyone that wants to say.
Doc, thank you so much. The lecture is interesting. You see, we are the local government. We kind of pack all our eggs and put in one basket. We don't look outside like looking into other agencies when we know that we are not competent. We are like this arm looking at the politicians to enable us, do our job by funding it. We do not look outside looking into other NGOs that has the competence to do it. So right now, I think you are kind of making me know that where I cannot, as a director, carry out any particular issue, which is a social menace, I can go to agencies that can handle it and then support them. It's either moral, verbal, or whatever, since maybe in funding they can do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
We have the floor. Let's flow. Let's flow. Others, mommy, leave your grandchildren. Let's talk. Others, contribution from you, please. The class is becoming interesting. Madam Rita, though, you have the class, you have the floor. Oh, yeah. Madam Mamino, contribute.
Thank you, Ma, for this class. It has been a very interesting one. At least from this now, we have learned to be more competent in this our area of specialization. We have to document things that we work on daily. Appropriately, we should not follow those the pattern we met before, because you are really right. We just, when we are given a job in the office, they will tell you, you just see yourself going back to the old file instead of making research on policies and what is on ground. They will still refer us back to that old pattern. And it keeps evolving and revolving and revolving around. But with what we have learned today, we are going to be more, I think we are going to be more proactive and professionalized in our dealings by making use of researches more on policies as it affects social justice and social work. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma. This is Amina. What I got from this teaching now is the policy aspect. Before now, we just make referral, believing that we are in collaboration, we work together. We have some agencies around us, maybe they are attending to youths, they are attending to maybe rape victims, without even knowing their mandate, without even knowing the policy guiding them. And from everything, we refer them, they don't return back to us. We are relaxed in the office, believing that, yes, at least we have done something, we have referred, and we don't even know the outcome, whether the person, this situation was solved or it was even worsened. So with this now, I understand that we should be able to know different policies of different organizations before we now key into working with them. Thank you, ma. Hello.
Hi, you have the floor.
Good day, ma. So
Good
me,
day,
I'm
man.
wanting to talk on the areas of direct support and indirect support. So for the direct support, it's a little bit difficult for us in the ministries to really handle, because the bureaucracy is something that is below par. It's something you cannot assess. You know, in some ministries, you have those cabals that they just want to do things the way they want to do it. So your input is not really needed. You're wanting to impute one or two things. They term you to be too forward, too inquisitive. So you see them wanting to cut you off, which was one of the discussions you had, wanting to take you off the scene because they can't use you to achieve their aims. So that is one of the problems we are having in most of these ministries. That is why in my own domain, we give most of this, we channel most of these programs to indirectly, like the indirect support to most of these organizations that can sponsor, because we cannot sponsor, even though the policies are there, that in the budget, there's money for this, there's money for that. But you find out that such budgets, such monies cannot be accessed to a larger extent, even with memos. You cannot access such money. And if you even want to access the amount, maybe you are writing for maybe 10 million, for example, the amount they want to give to you, they will tell you cannot sign less than $1 million in that same ministry. So it goes to the SSG. And that is where the file will end up. They might even come up with that file to give you just 2 million. You cannot access such direct programs in the ministry. So most of our programs, they have been channeled to the indirect support system. That's United, USAID, UN, that is a project for us now on GBV in Women and Gender Department. Is the UN Women that is handling it. So obviously we're able to channel it to that area so that they can bring in money, written the programs, they design the programs in the ministry to them, and they found it very laudable that they can sponsor it since it's something that concerns women and the ministry. So automatically they were able to put in money for such areas, that they put it in phases the way we wrote the design, and they were very impressed with it. So now the first stage we finished is the recommendation stage. We've already written the recommendation, made some corrections to us. So we are returning the corrections, then going for the second phase that has to do with education in the schools, not in the communities any longer. The schools, because we went to meet the communities like the CAC, Christian Association, the Kings, in the villages we are using as a case study. So we've gone over all those places. So now we are going to the secondary school level in the second phase, which I think it will be after the acceptance of the report. So automatically, most of these things are being managed and sponsored by the indirect support system. So we should be able to channel our program designs towards those areas, like what Professor Imamo told us, that we should go into those areas, program designs, and design program that you see yourself designing the program that will be fully acceptable by your sponsors. This is your indirect sponsor. So that was what he told us. You can't take pour water for 20 naira. You write in your design that is 200 naira. This is something that they can't, they'll throw it off. So he told us about that, which you have already said on this, our indirect. So I'm very grateful that obviously we can know what we are supposed to do as regards the area of this indirect support and direct support. We should be able to be very proactive, bringing out programs that we know the people that will be able to handle these programs for us. And these are their areas of mandate that they feel they can do it for us, since it's their area. So thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma. I hope we all enjoyed the class.
Yes, ma.
Can we call it a day? So meet another day and round it up.
Okay, ma. So we've had only 3 of the codes now. So we still have like 6 more, or 5.
Yes, 5 more. We have
5
treated
more.
4.
We treated 4. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you, ma. Thank you,
You're
doctor.
welcome.
Thank you, ma. We are
You're
grateful.
welcome. Bye.
Bye,
Have
ma.
a